Yo, what's up guys, on fire here back from the video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another defense in Madden 22. This is just another basic one that I like to run, and again, I like to combine. If you've watched my gameplays, you know I like to switch up my defenses a lot. Normally I'm not staying in one formation, and that definitely means I'm not staying in one play or one coverage, so that's just the type of player I am. I think that is the best way to play. Of course, you'll see a lot of guys just sit in 2-4-5 odd, which definitely is not bad, but the way I like to do it, I like to combine different schemes. I feel like that makes the game more fun, so that's what we're doing. We got another defense out of the 2-4-5 formation. This one's going to be a very good one. It's going to be a concept that I like to use out of every formation. We're just running this base 2-4-5 because I like to combine it with the match in this formation. It's going to be the cover 3 cloud. So cover 3 clouds, one of my favorite defenses every year. It's always just a super good, solid defense. It's going to be there on the right-hand side. We're in 2-4-5. I believe this is just the Giants playbook. It is, of course, in some other playbooks. Not going to list them out for you. It's in a lot, but it is in some other playbooks as well. You've got safeties at linebacker, of course. You're going to be using these two guys only. I would recommend getting some athletic guys. You'll see in some of the setups we're going to put these guys in coverage, so I would recommend getting some athletic defensive ends, some linebackers that could cover and rush the passer. So cover 3 cloud, you can turn auto flip on. That would be perfectly fine. And we're just going to go up against a gun bunch formation. So we will go ahead. Let's just set up a couple of audibles, I guess, and let's get straight into it. So cover 3 cloud, taking a look. Of course, you're going to have your cover 3 on one side and your cover 2 on the other side. Now, it's not a true cover 2 on this left side. Of course, you're going to have something different, and that's going to be your outside. Yeah, outside third. I don't know why I didn't know that, but outside third. You're going to have your outside third over here on this left side. So this is pretty much preventing you from really giving up anything deep on the cover 2 side. That's one of the big reasons I like it, because different from something like a cover 6, which I like cover 6 also. A cover 3 cloud pretty much prevents you from getting beat deep. Now, if he has a cover 3 beater, that's where you could get beat deep, but the first step to this is going to be shading over the top. Now, we're not going to go into any zone drop things. I might a little bit later in the video, but for now, we're going to leave everything on default. First adjustment is going to be shading over the top. You don't want the hard flat on the left side. That's going to allow crossers to get open from right to left. Things like that, even slant routes would get open against a hard flat. So you're just going to shade over the top, get that cloud flat, and that's going to be simple. Now, for our first setup, we'll just show what it looks like stock. I don't have my other controller on yet, but it's just going to look basically like this. You see pretty dang good coverage. Of course, the check down is open, which we will address later. We will address what to do with these running backs and these tight ends that you see getting thrown to so much, as I guess I did not set this up, so we will do it right now with this other controller. But yeah, the running backs and the tight ends, I'm sure a lot of you know, are the most thrown to players, and that seems to be the case for me always. It's the case for pretty much a lot of people, especially out of this bunch. The two guys you got to worry about mainly are going to be the tight end and the running back. Those are the easiest passes, delay fades, or flat routes. The running back, you'll see out routes, in routes, angle routes, anything to throw to the running back. And the running back usually is everybody's first read. It's my first read in every play. You look at the running back, if your checkdown's open, you take it. You take your 5+ yards or 10 yards. So that's the reason that we're going to address the running back, but we'll show it stock just a couple more times. Now we do have to go against flood stock because the controller won't be ready until there. But you see, though, the curl flat actually defends these things really well. Really, the only guy open is going to be that check down out of just a stock flood play. It's going to take the curl flat. Stock does a really good job of working on the flat and the out route. Now let's get into some other plays. Let's go with a corner out concept out of this mesh or something, and let's just streak RB. So again, we'll show it stock a couple more times, then we'll hop into the actual setup. One thing that you can do is, if you don't like this guy pressed either, you might want to back him off, because stock, he does come out pressed. I'm not sure if that depends formation to formation, but I would assume that it's just a normal thing. Now, something that is interesting is just the way that these guys are lined up. You see, this is what they look like pinched, and if you spread them out, really those only guys that are moving are those inside 2 defensive tackles. So your actual outside defensive ends don't really do much, so that's just something interesting. Usually I'll pinch my D-line and slant outside. I think that's the best way to get sheds. I honestly don't think it really matters, though. So here it is against a little mesh play, and you'll see the corner out's kind of open with a good pass lead. So that might be your only issue, but we'll show you the setup I like to kind of take those things away. Now, the first thing to take away a corner out is going to be to base a line. So you're going to base a line, And that will pretty much back off your cloud flat anyways, so you don't have to manually click onto him. So I like to baseline shade over the top, and we're going to pinch our D-line. Those are going to be our 3 first adjustments, and I do think those are probably the best adjustments that you could do. Now, getting into our main setup, we're going to go with a 3-man rush. We're going to man up this player on the tight end, and we're going to man up this linebacker on the linebacker. It should be a safety, so we'll call him a safety. We're going to man up Julian Love here on Kamara. This is what we're going to do first things, and this, let's go with a setup like this. So the running back still could get separation. We can do different things to take that away, but him seeing man coverage might take away that initial read, if that makes sense. And any other route besides these weird out routes, wheel routes, options should be decently defended. But if he immediately sees him manned up, I would assume a good player is going to move on to their next reads. So this is going to be your base coverage. Now we're going to go to the mesh play, and you should see, if I'm not mistaken, the corner out be defended a little bit better due to the fact that we're base aligned, and that outside third should take away most of these things. So again, you see it's pretty good coverage. Now the player that is manned up to the running back, because I did not send the running back out on that play, was kind of acting as a quarterback spy. Really the only thing that could give this particular defense a trouble is any kind of a double crossing route. Rarely will you ever see a play that kind of looks like this where there's 2 drags. Normally what you might see is, if there is any kind of a play like that, maybe it's something like this with the running back. I don't know what the play would be like, probably an inside cross play or a double post play at a bunch offset, but this is probably the extent of having 2 crossers. And now if they're running it like that, you have 2 players manned up. Now I didn't actually look at that corner out. We'll show it here, and you can see it's defended a lot better here. Not really too much of an angle. Maybe if you lowball here, that's really your only angle, but you see baselining, it definitely makes a big time difference, so I would recommend doing that. That's going to pretty much take away any kind of a corner out from both the slot receiver and that outside receiver, which you saw in that example right there. You're going to go ahead and man up both of these guys, shade over the top. Now, if he's not really doing much over here, you could hard flat, leave that hard flat. Your biggest concern is going to be something like verticals, which against verticals you pretty much have to use that deeper crossing route yourself anyways, so it shouldn't be too huge of an issue. We're going to snap the ball again, and in this particular scenario you're probably taking RB with my user. I was kind of asleep there, but yeah, you're rushing 3. The weakness of the defense is going to be the pressure, as seen here. So you rush 3, that's the result you're going to get. But I do think it's really good coverage, and sometimes in these situations where these guys have a lot of time to throw, there's nobody open, they end up making mistakes. I see that a lot, where I switch over to like a double Mabel, they have a lot of time to throw, I'm only rushing 3, and they usually force it into coverage, just because some people just have that timer going off in their head where they have the ball for 3, 4, 5 seconds, they're thinking about getting rid of it. Some players, I don't know, this might even be you, you're not really looking at the rush, you're only looking at your wide receivers, and those types of players will force the ball. So if it's a really good player, it's going to be difficult to play defense anyway, but this should be a pretty good bend but don't break. We'll go to like a verticals look here. And again, the man coverage isn't going to be perfect. You can't necessarily expect it to be perfect, but it's going to do hopefully a good enough job to at least minimize the gain or just move him off his read, which is kind of the idea of what we were doing anyway. So we're going to run the verticals play. Of course, we have to take RB. See Kamara, he's kind of open there. But we're actually going to run that play again, and I'll show you how many yards you can get. It should not be that many yards. Base align, shade over the top. We're going to pinch our D-line again. That's something I like to do. Man up B on A, man up X on Y. We're going to run verticals again on offense, and I want to just show you that because, again, we're just going to man up our user so that he actually goes somewhere, snap the ball, and you see Kamara. Well, you seem to get a better break there, but, I mean, it's not too big of a gain. I don't know exactly. That was probably around 5 yards at the max. So you're kind of willing to give up that, especially at a bunch. If you watch my gameplay yesterday, you'll see me kind of exhibit a bend but don't break defense, although I wasn't running exactly this play. I was running the concept of bending but don't break, and you see it makes your opponents mess up. Now, the ball control thing is an issue. If you need the ball, I don't know what style of offense you're playing. If you're playing a running offense, you probably need the ball a lot. But if you're playing bend but don't break, your opponent's going to have 4 or 5 minute drives. That's something you got to accept. But this is a very, very good setup. Now, if I might be going against a different formation, I don't know what the case may be. Let's just go to a gun spread, double flex look. Now spread is interesting. What I might do if it's a spread, if I catch on to him going with a tendency like this, where he's going to throw the running back out on an out route. Something like this, I don't know what the case may be. Maybe he goes out route, streak, or like a deep route with Callaway or a curl route. Something like this, curl flat concept. If he's running spread, what you can actually go ahead and do is hard flat that wide sides. And we can actually do that with our boy Jabril Peppers. Now, I could also do it with this guy, creating another 3-man rush scenario, but we're going to give you another 4-man rush just because I think that's something you want to see. And if you're going 3-man rush, I like the other one better anyway. I'll still show it, but I do like that other one better. Now, this is going to leave, once again, your user in the middle of the field by yourself, which spread, it might not be the best. You still want to shade over the top, get this cloud flat over there, but you still want A on a hard flat. So again, you want a cloud flat, a hard flat, and a curl flat, 3 different zones, which is probably the main reason that adjusting your zone drops could hurt you in this scenario, because if you say cloud flats to 15 yards, you can't throw a hard flat out on the field. So he's going to snap the ball like this, and this is where you see very dang good coverage on that concept. And again, out of spread, you're expecting probably a lot of table routes to that right side. If they throw something inside, maybe you get trouble, but that's where you can either user it, or maybe you just give it up, let your cloud flat make the tackle, and you go to the next play. But we're just going to, whoa, did you see that glitch? It went from bunch to spread. Never seen that, but snap the ball. You see the hard flat's going to take this out route. Our curl flat's going to do a really, really nice job of taking away this inside pass. The curl, just when it looks open, maybe your opponent throws it here, he's going to get lurked, throw an interception, and you see everything that's defended by our user in the middle of the field. So that's really a concept that I like. We're going to go back to the spread, show you some more stuff. But another concept you see a lot is this wheel route. And this is, again, another scenario where manning up the running back is going to help. So out of spread, the running back, pretty much out of any formation. Now, it doesn't have to be bunch, it doesn't have to be spread. The running back is the main guy. The running back, the running back, the running back. You'll hear me say that. You'll see me do it. Everybody throws to their running back. So it's probably just better to man him up on every play than to even hard flat. So you might just want to run your deep base defense like this. And if you have to, throw a vertical hook on one of your defensive linemen. Again, instead of the vert hook, you can, of course, spy, which I don't mind spying. Spying is almost like a vertical hook zone, the way it takes away drags or underneath routes with the running back. So that's something I'm fine with doing if he has a Michael Vick at the quarterback position, if he has a Cam Newton or that new Mariota, then you can do that. Or you can just go ahead contain if you want. Containing, I don't like containing this year. I don't feel like it does anything for me, but to each its own, I guess. Some people like it, some people don't. But again, the main things are baseline. You're going to shade over the top initially. Then you're going to get into those adjustments. I would say the 3 adjustments: baseline, shade over the top, man one guy up on the running back. Out of this cover 3 cloud, the rest of the coverage should do the job. You're not going to give up any big plays. And you see out of the flood play, the running back's taken away. He has no other option, especially if he's going to run a flood play like this, which is it's a very good setup out of this play. You man up the running back. His first read's going to be taken away. You kind of lurk over here on RB and then go back to X, and everything is defended pretty well. The only thing that might be open late is a little flat route to the tight end. But other than that, he's going to be absolutely caged. And yeah, man, that's going to do for the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel down below. And follow all of my links in the description: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Need to drop more TikTok content. Somebody remind me. But that's going to do for me, and peace. I'm out of here.